The Cubs will come up all aces here in game 2. Another beautiful night. The wind has returned. It is blowing in out of the north, maybe northeast. And let's look in on the Milwaukee Brewers Southwest starting lineup. They swept Arizona over the weekend, but got shut out game 1 last night. Lopez, Hart, and Braun back in there. Batting third tonight. Prince Fielder at .299 on the season. Casey McGee batting 5th. It's Cameron in center, Kendall catching, Alcides Escobar at short, and Giovanni Gallardo has 2 homers, hitting 9th.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively tonight. Scales, Fukudome, and Bradley across the outfield. Aramis Ramirez at third. Ryan Theriot at shortstop. Mike Fontenot getting a rare start at second base tonight. Derek Lee over at first. Giovanni Soto behind the plate tonight. For right-hander Big Z, Carlos Zambrano. Looking for victory number 9. He's going to have to face probably the best the Brewers have to offer. They've shuffled their lineup a little bit here late in the season, but if you had to pick an A team for the Brewers right now, this is it.
Dana DeMuth, the crew chief, will work the plate. He's in his 26th year. He's worked 3 World Series. And he actually worked the Brewers-Phillies Division Series last year. Well, how many pitches will Big Z throw tonight? Lou kind of made light of their discussion after his last start.
I think 200 was the number Lou mentioned. Yeah.
Was going to put the bullpen across the street
at the fire station. Yeah.
Lou, in all seriousness, today said he's hoping for 6 or 7 good innings out of Carlos. Now, one thing that we looked at with Giovanni Gallardo pitching tonight, he's made more than 3,000 pitches on the season. That's why he skipped his last start. The Cubs, Bob, don't have a starter in the top 25 in the National League in pitches thrown. So I think that you give a lot of credit to Larry Rothschild and Lou Piniella for really watching the pitch count. I think that's partly why the starters have been so good here in September.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point. Gallardo's thrown under 100 pitches only 4 times in 28 starts this year. He's kind of the Brewers version of Rich Hart. He's got such good stuff. He gets a lot of strikeouts. However, teams foul off a lot of pitches. He works a lot of deep counts.
2-0 on Felipe Lopez, make it 3-0. And the other part of the pitches thrown stat is that everybody but Randy Wells has spent some time on the disabled list in the Cubs rotation. So that definitely has figured in. That's the first strike from Z, 3-1, with Corey Hart on deck, and then Ryan Braun. 3-2. Lopez doing what any good leadoff man would do, especially after a 3-0 start. Keep taking pitches. Swings away this time and fouls it back. 67 degrees, and the wind is out of the north at 9. No wind whatsoever last night. Foul tip, strike 3. Good comeback by Carlos.
Good fastball in the early going from Big Z. That's a 4-seamer right on the inside corner at the knees. Just blew it past Lopez. Normally a pretty good contact hitter.
Corey Hart rolls one up the middle. Ryan Theriot drops it, and that will be an error on Ryan. Got a little ahead of himself.
Slowly hit ball, didn't appear to take a bad hop or anything. As you said, Ryan looked like he just got ahead of himself a little bit. Corey Hart runs very well, and because that ball was hit so slowly, it looked like Ryan tried to hurry it a little bit and just lost the handle.
It's his 15th error, and it brings up Ryan Braun, who was only used as a pinch hitter and played left very late. Came into the game in the 8th inning. So he gets his first start of the series, and Really opens up the throttle on that swing. One strike. He was hit by a pitch in that one plate appearance. Check on Corey Hart, who was 9 out of 13 in the stolen base department. But Hanley Ramirez hitting .385 away from Land Shark Stadium. Nothing in 2 to Braun.
Well, a couple of real good fastballs right past a good fastball hitter. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Throw him another one up there above the letter. See if he'll chase again.
Go away this time. Runner going, swing and a miss, and they get Hart, and that's it. You strike him out, throw him out, double play. 2 Ks in the inning, an error, but no damage done, and the Cubs are coming up from Wrigley. Get your pencils and scorecards ready. Here's the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Ryan Theriot will lead it off at short. Fukudome's in center. Lee, Ramirez, Soto 3 through 5. Milton Bradley back in there in right. Mike Fontenot gets a nod at second. Bobby Scales out in left. And Zambrano, the pitcher, hitting ninth.
Take a look at the Brew Crew defensively tonight. Braun, Cameron, and Hart across the outfield. Casey McGee at third base, Escobar at shortstop, Lopez at second, Big Prince Fielder over at first base. Veteran Jason Kendall behind the plate once again tonight. What's new? He catches every game. And on the mound for the Brewers, right-hander Giovanni Gallardo. 12 victories already on the season. The ERA just over 3.5. You can see the numbers at the bottom. He does not get hit hard.
And a strike on Ryan Theriot. Had some work done on a finger, I believe on his right hand. After he came off the field, committed the error. May have jammed his finger or maybe cut one of his fingers.
Sometimes as an infielder, especially on a slowly hit ball, you have a tendency to get that meat hand in the glove a little bit too quickly and look like perhaps separated his nail from the nail bed there a little bit, but put a Band-Aid on it, put the batting glove on, and here he is leading off the game for the Cubs.
Yep, you can see it kind of. I think that's why he dropped it the second time. Couldn't get a handle on it. 23-year-old righty Giovanni Gallardo on a 2-1 pitch. That was foul. And his last turn skip. They're keeping a very close eye on him. And as you mentioned, Bob, only 4 times Out of 28 starts has he thrown fewer than 100 pitches.
And throughout the course of his career, when he works on 6 or more days rest, he's 1-2 with an ERA of nearly 5.5.
Strikes out Ryan Theriot to start it. A reminder, tonight's telecast is being brought to you in beautiful high definition, sponsored by Comcast. Kosuke trying to get it going here on this homestand. It's been a slow start to the month. 149 in September and 0 for 13 on this homestand. It's a high fly that'll give Mike Cameron plenty of time to get underneath. 2 outs. Cubs starting the night still 9.5 back of St. Louis. The Cardinals beat Florida last night, but the Rockies lost again for the 3rd straight time. And well, there are only 20 games to go and under 3 weeks left. Cubs are 5 behind in the loss column, and I know there are 4 teams ahead of the Cubs in all in the wild card, but stranger things have happened. And as one Cubs player told me around the batting cage today, Bob, that's why we can't think about anybody else. We just have to keep thinking about wins. Win, win, win. Let the rest kind of fall into place. That falls in front of Corey Hart.
Well, it gets back to one stone cold fact. You can't control what the other teams ahead of you do. All you can control is what you do on a daily basis. And if the rest of the Cubs follow Derek Lee's lead, we should put some pressure on those teams ahead of them in the wild card.
And I was talking to a member of the 1969 Cubs before the game over in the radio booth. And he had a great line. And the Cubs are 9.5 back. He used the number 8, but he said when you're 8 ahead, it feels like 8 inches. When you're 8 behind, it feels like 8 miles. And truer words were never uttered. Yeah, Ron understands it. And I'm with him on it. Is it likely? No. Is it impossible? No. And I guess, Bob, what I kind of hang my hat on here is that the Rockies have been so hot for so long, the law of averages would say, and they have cooled off a little bit, but maybe they're going to be in a 2-week stretch where they're going to give somebody else an opportunity, and everybody's counted them out. So why not sneak up on a few people over the last couple of weeks?
Why not? I watched a little bit of the Giants game last night, and they were bemoaning the fact that their offensive star this season, Pablo Sandoval, has been struggling mightily over the past few weeks, so anything can happen.
It's foul past third. I think you and I talked about it off the air maybe a couple of weeks ago, and I said I would be disappointed if the Cubs didn't at least get back to the point where you could feel like there's some sort of chance. And they may not be all the way back to that point, but you know, another win or 2 and a couple of Rockies losses, and people will start perking up a little bit. Not in the clubhouse, talking externally around this team. Three and 2 to Ramirez, and some may say, well, the Cubs are playing really well because they're out of it and they're relaxed. Well, whatever it takes. If you can get back in relaxing, that's fine with me.
It's just like my golf game. No pictures, just numbers.
Just numbers. They're going on the 3-2, and McGee can't smother it. Gets into left. And the Cubs have back-to-back singles with 2 outs.
Good battling at bat by Aramis Ramirez against Gallardo. Finally got a breaking ball he can handle. Shot it through that left side of the infield.
Final word on this conversation, and we'll move on. What has to happen is the Cubs have to win about 14 out of 20 minimum. I mean, that's the baseline. The other things you can't control, but you're not going to back in being 6.5 out at this point and in 5th place. You can't go 10 and 10. So The question is, are the Cubs capable of doing that? And I think they are.
Especially if the guy at the plate can stay hot. Giovanni Soto was a big missing part of the offense throughout most of the season, but he's driven in 9 runs in his last 5 ball games. And following Derek Lee and Aramis Ramirez, he's going to have plenty of chances down the stretch.
2-0 to Soto. A quiet start to the inning, but Lee single to right and then Ramirez to left, and it's Giovanni Soto with 2 on. Found back to the top of the screen. Long t-shirt weather, maybe a light jacket, sweatshirt. Very pleasant. Caught the outside corner. Some other action we're keeping an eye on, the AA Southern League Finals. Tennessee behind, or with Ryan Sandberg at the helm in a 3-3 tie in the 5th. Game 1. It's just outside. Another game 2 of a best-of-5 series. Huntsville. That's game 1 of that series. I was looking at the wrong page. Game 1 of the best-of-5 against Jacksonville. Runners go on the payoff pitch. Pop foul. We'll do it again. They've made Gallardo work here in the 1st inning. And the bases are loaded for Milton Bradley.
Well, and we were told before the ball game that Gallardo has gotten a little bit curveball happy here late in the season, and right there threw a breaking pitch to Giovanni Soto on the 3-2 count. He's one of those guys that a little bit similar to Carlos Zambrano. On a given night, he can just totally dominate an opposing lineup with any one of his 4 pitches. But for some reason, he feels like he has to show all 4 pitches to every hitter he faces, and a lot of full counts, a lot of foul balls, and Cubs have an opportunity here with 2 outs to jump on the board first.
Milton had the night off last night, 1 for 13 against the Reds. But batting with the bases loaded. His first at bat tonight. Bottom of your screen is the lead man, Derek Lee. Ramirez behind him at second, and Giovanni Soto's at first. Cued foul. Has a sign from Kendall, a kick and a pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2. Foul tip, strike 3. 2 Ks for Gallardo in the first as the Cubs lead. The bases loaded. 0-0.
important play, and you know, I guess anytime you lay out like that, you run a little bit of a risk, but it just so happened that, you know, getting my glove underneath there really did it, and you know, just one of those things. It's part of the game, but it's not going to prevent me from doing it in the future.
Right near the right thumb, he had an MRI on the hand today, and they don't know the results just yet, as Prince Fielder hits it foul. Hopefully, Bob, that's just a couple of days, no more. And Lou mentioned, depending on how long Sam is out, the Cubs may go down and get another outfielder from the minor leagues to add some depth. 1-1 to Fielder.
Well, Sam didn't need to tell us it wasn't going to change the way he plays the game.
Yeah, we knew that already. I see a lot of swings and misses on both sides tonight with Zambrano and Gallardo. Sick numbers for Prince Fielder. 11 homers in 33 games at Wrigley. But 0 for 3 with a walk last night. He leads everybody in RBIs with 126. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Good off-speed pitch that time, fading down and away from big Prince Fielder. I mean, he's got some holes in his swing. As you can imagine, a big, strong guy that takes the home run cut that he takes on every swing, you can get in on his hands, or you can get him with off-speed stuff down low and away, but you better hit your spots.
Casey McGee takes high for ball 1. th game of the year for Casey. He made his first opening day roster after a huge spring and basically grabbed that third base position. Well, there were several years when we saw Casey McGee play a bunch of different positions almost every day in spring training. He finally got his chance. Last season with the Cubs, Brewers grabbed him on waivers after the season. And he has really made a name for himself in Milwaukee. Fly ball into center. Fukudome barely moving. 2 outs. Don't miss the action as the Cubs host the Brewers once again this Thursday. Game time 1:20, but be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will get a Cubs mouse pad, compliments of Harrah's. Strike on Mike Cameron. Foul tip, strike 2.
Talked to a number of the Brewers players today, and as usual with the visiting team coming into Wrigley Field, the first thing you do when you come out of the clubhouse and walk down that maze-like tunnel out to the dugout, they quickly took a look up to the flags and saw them howling straight in tonight. And to a man, they were saying it's not tough enough to face Zambrano, but we have to do it with the wind blowing in too. That's what you got to deal with tonight.
Zambrano with 4 Ks through 2 as the Cubs will go back to work on offense. A scoreless tie. It's cold beverage on a cool night at Wrigley. The first pitch ball to Mike Fontenot, who gets a start after a couple of nice pinch hit appearances. Sunday a double, Monday a double, and an insurance run. Fouls it off. Mentioned the Sam Fuld situation. Another injury update. Alfonso Soriano had season-ending arthroscopic left knee surgery today, performed by team orthopedist Dr. Stephen Grislow. Everything went well, according to the Cubs. And we will see Alfonso in Milwaukee on the next road trip. He'll join the team and get into his rehab. And hopefully he'll be 100% going into spring training next year. 2-2 to Fontenot. Cubs will just mix and match in left field the rest of the season. It's Bobby Scales tonight, and he's hitting 8th right behind Fontenot.
I imagine we'll see Jake Fox in the mix out there, as well as Micah Hoffpower. Bobby Scales, you mentioned, playing tonight.
Maybe Sam Fuld. Hopefully he'll be back soon. Lou could play Jeff Baker out there if he needed to. So there are some options. Ball 4, a leadoff walk to Fontenot.
Well, I like the approach by the Cubs hitters so far in this game against Gallardo. A lot of deep counts, 2 base on balls already in this game, coupled with the 2 strikeouts that he had in the first inning. That pitch count starting to creep up there already.
The last time Gallardo pitched in this ballpark was May 1st of last year. And he tore the ACL in his right knee. He actually stayed in the game after injuring the knee, and he was trying to avoid a collision near first base in the bottom of the 5th inning that day. The following day it was discovered he had a torn ligament. Went on the DL, eventually underwent surgery. Ended up coming back with just 4 games left in the season.
Well, I think we were all shocked that game when we saw him go back out to take some warm-up pitches and stay in the mound, just based on what we saw. I was really surprised, first of all, that he was able to go back out and even take his warm-up pitches and stay in the ball game, and in the second place that the Brewers allowed him to do it.
This is a lot of bats. Second round pick in 2004. He's from Mexico, currently lives in Fort Worth, Texas. In the offseason, attended Trimble Tech High School in Texas. And it's 3-1 on Scales. Zambrano on deck. He combined the home runs between these 2 pitchers tonight. 6 of them. 4 by Z, 2 by Gallardo. Runner goes on the 3-1. Scales fouls it off.
One of Gallardo's home runs, the only home run that Randy Johnson has ever given up to an opposing pitcher in his career. That's something you can brag about to your grandkids.
The other home run was the only run in a 1-0 win against the Pirates. Fontenot goes again, swing and a miss, a little bobble by Kendall, and that cost him. If Jason does not bobble the ball before the throw, he might have gotten Fontenot.
That's something the Cubs may look to exploit against this Gallardo-Kendall combination. 17 out of 19, now 18 out of 20 successful steal attempts with Gallardo on the mound, and Kendall throwing out right around 18% of the runners this year.
A runner at second with one out. Wind has died down quite a bit. Still blowing in, but not very hard. Inside corner on a fastball, strike one. Carlos trying to win another Silver Slugger award. There's a couple of them. Surprised he's taken a couple of strikes. You rarely see that. Swinging away this time, and he hits it hard, but Cameron will catch it.
Now the first two strikes were at the knees on the inside corner. Big Z likes to get his hands extended, especially from the left side of the plate. Finally got a pitch up and out over the plate. Sounded like he might have cracked his bat on that one. Hit it hard, but Mike Cameron able to run it down in left center field.
Two outs, and it's Ryan Theriot who struck out to start the bottom of the first. Ground ball, it's going to squeeze through. Fontenot around, and he'll score standing. It's 1-0. Ryan Theriot with his 52nd RBI.
It's a swing we saw so often from Ryan Theriot last year and the year before. That was a slider on the outer third of the plate, stayed right on it, drove it through that right side of the infield. And Mike Fontenot with 2 outs in the inning got a real good secondary lead and jump from second base and scores without a play.
Both thought this was going to be a high-scoring series, and it still could be. It's only the second of 4, but 2-0 last night. Looks like the 2 starters tonight are locked in early, so every run might count.
Let's see if Theriot tries to work for a maximum lead over there at first base and try to steal his way into scoring position for Kosuke Fukudome with 2 outs in the inning.
Swing and a miss. It sound like a broken record, but the manager would like to run more than the Cubs have this season. The stolen base by Fontenot, just the 48th of the year for the Cubs, the fewest in the majors. And for the youngsters out there, I guess instead of broken record, we'll say broken CD or MP3 player.
Cracked CD.
Although, unlike a broken record, which would maybe just skip and just keep playing the same thing over and over again, I guess if we sounded like a broken MP3 player, we wouldn't say anything.
There have been times this season that Lou has given a number of the Cubs the green light to go if they feel they can get a jump over there at first base. Unfortunately, they haven't taken advantage of those green lights often enough, and the other alternative as managers put the must steal on. I don't care if you get a jump or not. I want you to run on this pitch. Get your best lead over there at first base, and as soon as that pitcher starts his delivery to home plate, I want to see you break for second base.
And to be honest, I don't even know based on the percentages, if I would want the Cubs to run more with this current group, because they have the worst percentage in baseball. I think it's around 60%. That's not good enough. And I think that's why Lou has decided not to run more, and a lot of those have been, you know, the strike him out, throw him out variety, into the broken hit and run. You'd like to be well over 70%. Steal 3 out of every 4 at the very least. As Fukudome strikes out and the inning's over, but Terrio drives in Fontenot. That leadoff walk came back to help the Cubs. 1-0 after 2. And Kendall swings away and taps it foul. He's batting 7th tonight. Right in front of rookie shortstop Alcides Escobar. Little outside. 1-1. And 2-1. Marlins and Cardinals scoreless in the second. Sean West, Adam Wainwright on the mound. The Cardinals won last night. Zambrano trying to beat the Brewers for the first time this season. The Cubs won his 2 previous starts, but he got no decisions. Terrio got a good hop. Low throw, no problem for Derek.
Well, we showed you the trainers working on Ryan Terrio's finger after that error back in the first inning when it looked like he got his right hand in the glove just a little too soon. We'll keep an eye on his throws as this game progresses.
Alcides Escobar, exciting young shortstop prospect. Although, are you still a prospect when you're in the majors?
Oh yeah, you can be a prospect at the major league level.
Be a suspect too.
Yeah. Probably a few more suspects than there are prospects, but this guy is definitely a prospect.
He was their #1 guy according to Baseball America going into this season. He may have wrestled away the job from J.J. Hardy, who spent some time in the minors in August. He has not made an appearance in this series.
Escobar, a .292 hitter throughout his minor league career, coming into this season. Also a stolen base threat. He's had a couple of 30 stolen base seasons, a couple more at 20 in the minor leagues.
Fukudome won't get it, neither will Bradley. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. This has triple written all over it. Bradley reaches into the ivy, pulls it out, but it's a triple for Escobar. I don't know if we'll get a good look at where the ball landed, but there was maybe a little bit of a risk by Bradley in reaching in. It could have been an inside the Parker.
Fastball over the middle part of the plate. Kosuke Fukudome, a rare time they hit a ball past him, took a real shallow line to the ball. It may have dropped out of the vines. It was just out of our sight line right there. There is a little bit of grass underneath the vines at the back end of the warning track, and it looked like Milton saw the ball drop out, so grabbed it quickly and got it back in.
Z needs a strikeout here, a weakly hit ground ball. The infield is in against the pitcher, Gallardo. I think you're right. I think that ball was not caught up in the vines. That's why Bradley just picked it up instead of putting his arms up in the air. Gallardo's trying to make some sort of contact, get that tying run in. It's 1-2 on him.
Well, and a lot of the things we talk about in the game of baseball are what I call very general rules. There's always exceptions, but generally, when you're looking for a weakly hit ball, you want to pitch a hitter inside. Try to jam him, get that weak ground ball to one of your infielders. In a situation where you're looking for a double play grounder, you want that ball to be hit harder, so naturally you're going to pitch out over the plate in a way where a guy is more likely to hit the ball near the barrel of the bat. So in this situation, if you're going for the strikeout, obviously you throw your best pitches and you try to strike the hitter out. But if you want a weakly hit ball, pound him inside.
Who thought he had strike three? Gets it this time on the called strike. Big second out for Carlos. Get the best Chicago sports news nightly on Sports Night, presented by Dex. Coming up tonight after Cubs post-game live, Dan Jiggets will sit down with Matt Forte. Plus a full MLB recap. Join Mark and Pat for Sports Night, presented by Dex. After post-game live, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Everybody can move back except for the third baseman Ramirez against Felipe Lopez. And it's 2-0 to Lopez. Three and nothing. He went 3-0 on Lopez to start the game. Then he came back and eventually struck him out. There's ball 4. Corey Hart coming up. The first walk given up by Carlos. A year ago yesterday, Zambrano with a no-hitter in Milwaukee against the Houston Astros. Won't have one tonight after the Escobar triple. The kick, the pitch, smothered by Soto.
Let's see Lopez on the move. If the count goes to 2 strikes, Maka might try to generate some offense of his own with real good speed on at third base. Lopez 6 out of 12 on the season stealing bases. Not a great base stealer, obviously not a good percentage. But chances are, with 2 outs in the inning, if he does run, he's going to pull up short at second base, try to get involved in a run down, and sneak that runner down the line at third.
Three and one. Braun on deck. He's got to go right after Corey Hart, who's just 1 out of 14 since coming off the disabled list. He had an emergency appendectomy on August 2nd and just recently came back. Swing and a miss. 3-2.
Just a filthy sinker that time from Big Z. The bottom just fell out of that pitch. Looked like it was headed for the middle of the strike zone. Ended up down and in nearly in the dirt. Saw the way Giovanni Soto had to turn his wrist all the way around to get to that sinker. More movement than even he was expecting.
Lopez goes on a 3-2 swing and a miss. He struck him out. So he avoids facing Ryan Braun with the bases loaded, and the Cubs maintain their 1-0 lead.
Minor league players of the year in the Cubs system: Kyler Burke, member of the Peoria Chiefs, and Casey Coleman, pitching for Ryan Sandberg in Tennessee. Outstanding seasons for both young men. I had an opportunity to see Kyler Burke play quite a bit this summer. Hit .303 with 43 doubles, 15 homers, drove in 89, walked 78 times, scored 93 runs.
14 wins for Casey Coleman. And just his second pro season, taken in the 15th round of the '08 draft.
Kyler Burke was acquired from the San Diego Padres along with Rob Bowen in the Michael Barrett trade.
If Casey Coleman gets to the major leagues, that'd be a third-generation Coleman as a pitcher. I don't know if that's been done in terms of pitchers.
Right, yeah.
3 generations. Eric Lee takes a leadoff walk. Ramirez with a single his first time up. Had a huge homestand, 10 out of 15. Now is a 7-game hitting streak. Derek Lee with a first inning single has upped his streak to 8. Found back our way. Pitch by Gallardo, another foul by Ramos.
One more quick note on Kyler Burke. Played all three outfield positions. 68 games in right field, 29 in left field, 28 in center field. Also played 10 games at first base and had 14 outfield assists. Solid all-around season.
Gallardo with an 0-2, another foul as Ramirez hangs in. Gallardo steps off. Derek, by the way, has not attempted a steal all season. Ramirez pops it up, and Escobar will make the catch just in the outfield grass, back of third. Tickets are still available for Cubs games this season, including bleacher seats. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, 1-800-THE-CUBS, or you can visit the Wrigley Field box office. Soto snapped a 5-game hitting streak last night, but walked in his first at bat tonight. Lee takes off. Kendall won't throw. That will not be a steal. Rather a wild pitch, but I'm getting to the point where I'm wondering if Derek is going to have an attempt this season.
They got a great read on that pitch in the dirt right there. Jason Kendall did a nice job of blocking it over near the feet of Giovanni Soto. Derek was off as soon as that ball was headed for the dirt. By the time Kendall recovers, D. Lee is already on his way to second base and in successfully with the slide.
A rainbow to right. Corey Hart will get under it. Derek tagging and holding. So with 2 outs, it's Milton Bradley. Well, Daisuke is back for the Red Sox. He's on the DL since June 21st with a shoulder strain. 6 shutout innings against the Angels tonight at Fenway Park. It's 2-0 Red Sox in the 7th. John Lackey has pitched well, but is trailing. Tim Lincecum was really good last night after missing a start with back issues. As the Giants pounded the Rockies 9-1. 11 strikeouts for Lincecum. And Mariano Rivera, his 40th save on Monday. 7th time he's reached 40 saves in his career. Ground ball is fair. Fielder will take it unassisted to end the threat here in the 3rd. Lee stranded at second. Cubs 1, Brewers nothing. Trivia question. Prior to 1960, what color was the Wrigley Field marquee?
Paisley.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
We'll have the answer coming up. Called strike to Ryan Braun. Ooh, I don't like those numbers. 29.99. Let's stay right there.
Yeah.
I think he likes those round numbers. Maybe he can do that this weekend. They lead town. Fouled back, big cut. He's second in the league in runs with 101. Third in hits. Tied for second in multi-hit games. Fourth in total bases and RBIs. He's in the top 10 of pretty much all the major categories.
A little trouble in his first two at-bats of this ball game, catching up to the Carlos Zambrano fastball. Punched him out back in the first inning to start a strike him out, throw him out double play. And ahead in the count here, 1-2.
He has struck out twice. Carlos has 7 already. Special thanks to the Menards grounds crew in our final Menards winner of the season, Robert Moore of Evanston, Illinois, helping out tonight. Good to have Robert here at the ballpark. They put on the big pull shift against Fielder. So Ramirez the only infielder on the left side. You have Fontenot way out in the grass in shallow right. As they have the I formation. Fontenot and Bradley.
Well, we talked about this in the past. It wasn't unusual to put a pull shift on for hitters, but just over the last 5 or 6 years, they've started to put the second baseman way out in shallow right field. I think it really started with Barry Bonds. A lot of teams used to shift on Barry Bonds, and because he rarely ran hard if he hit a ground ball to the right side, everybody started pushing the second baseman out further and further into shallow right field, and they realized that that's a pretty good alignment against any left-handed pull hitter. As long as your second baseman has enough arm to get the ball to first base from shallow right field.
Here's a 3-1 swing and a miss. Woo! Feel the breeze up here, and it's not just the real wind.
It's just trying to punch this ball to the opposite field. Wow. That is a slugger's home run swing right there.
Biggs Field. Wow. Ball 4. Well, I know you're in a good mood. We don't want to put you in a bad mood, but we have to mention this. We have to show it. We talked about it when it happened, and it's been a big topic of conversation around baseball. The Brewer celebration after the Prince Fielder game-ending home run. Shirts untucked, choreographed Kyle at the plate. I don't want to speak for you, but I know that you're not a big fan of said celebrations.
It's the choreographed issue that I have a little bit of a problem with. You know, and we talked about this the other day off the air, and it's really getting to the point now where, you know, I was raised a certain way in the game of baseball, as were a lot of guys my age and older. I'm sure Ron Santo wasn't particularly excited to see that celebration at home plate, but the game has changed dramatically because of the increase in televised games over the last number of years. And there's that argument that baseball is entertainment. Sports ultimately is entertainment, and if it's entertaining for the fans, then it's good. But I just think that maybe crosses the line there where you're disrespecting not only your opponents but the game itself, making a mockery of it.
There'll be a wild pitch on Zambrano. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I think that you have absolutely every right to feel that way. But as someone said to me, and I completely agree, and you touched on it, it's more common than I think as every year goes by in just about all the sports that sort of thing is going on. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 2 outs. And I just think for your peace of mind, if you can let it go a little bit, you'll be maybe not as aggravated, because if you wanted to get aggravated about something, you could every day, right?
Yeah, sure.
And you have over the course of this season.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I just think that we are in a different era. And fortunately or unfortunately, however you choose to look at it, the game is probably never going to be like it was when you played, or going back earlier than that when Ron played. That's kind of just the way it is. I don't mean to make you feel old, partner. Too late. Sorry. 1-0 Cubs. '60, what color was the Wrigley Field marquee? It wasn't always red. It is now, but it was fern green. The marquee talks. Yeah, that's what it used to look like. That's good stuff. Great landmarks in the city of Chicago and in all of sports, a Wrigley Field marquee. 1 strike to Mike Fontenot. He walked and scored the only run to this point. It's a dribbler out in front of the plate. Gallardo will throw. Safe. His fielder came off first base. It's a hit for Fontenot. Got a good homestand.
He's hit a lot of balls harder than this throughout the course of this homestand, but he will definitely take it. That's a perfectly placed swinging bunt. Not only did it roll up that first baseline and nearly die in the grass, but Gallardo had to kind of angle his throw to avoid Fontenot as he streaked down that first baseline and pulled Prince Fielder off the bag.
Bobby Scales takes ball 1 outside. He struck out swinging in the second. Bobby made his major league debut earlier this season, and he hit in his first 6 games. First Cub to do that since Jerome Walton had a 7-game hitting streak to start his career 20 years ago. He has been particularly effective As a pinch hitter, 6 for 10 with 2 homers. Getting a start tonight. Fontenot runs, and that's driven deep to right. And it's going to be over Corey Hart. Fontenot had to wait to make sure it got down, and they're at second and third with nobody out. So Scales puts a charge into that one. His 6th 2-base hit. And the Cubs are in business.
Bobby Scales crushed that ball. Fastball up and out over the plate. You could see Kendall sliding way out to the corner. Hit it right off the base of the fence. You see Fontenot, because the ball was hit at Corey Hart, but over his head, he had to wait just to make sure that ball got down. Otherwise, he scores easily on that play.
Cornermen will come in on the infield. They're back up the middle against Zambrano. I'd like to see Carlos shorten up just a little bit here. Get that run in. Ideally pull a ball too, but don't want to get too greedy right now. Oh, how about a 3-run home?
That'll work.
That'll get it done as Cameron will get to it. Scales not able to tag, but Fontenot does, and Z gets his 9th RBI and a sacrifice fly. And it's 2-0.
Big Z got a hanging changeup that time from Gallardo. Drives it to right center field. Fontenot's going to definitely score easy. I mean, Big Z hit that ball at the end of the bat and got that kind of carry. I think Bobby Scales should have tagged on that ball as well. Mike Cameron covers a tremendous amount of ground out there in center and right center and left center. Ball was in the air long enough you could assume he was going to make the catch moving away. Would have been an easy tag in advance for Bobby Scales, but he got caught out there about halfway and couldn't get back to the bag in time to tag in advance.
So 1 out. Terrio takes ball 1 low and outside. The Braves are shutting out the Mets 5-0 in the 8th. Tommy Hanson, Rookie of the Year candidate, 7 shutout innings and just 3 hits. Braves right now are half a game better than the Cubs, are in 4th in the wild card.
Another good, patient at bat here by a Cubs hitter. I don't know whether it's a Gallardo who just doesn't have command of his pitches tonight or whether he's just trying to nibble too much, but boy, he has fallen behind in a lot of counts already.
Ball 4. Dome with 2 on. And send out happy 5th birthday wishes to Jack Gazdaka in from Itasca with his dad tonight here at the ballpark. Right before his 5th birthday. This is a Ramos Ramirez uniform on. Called strike. Congratulations go out to Phil and Kara Sizatowski on the birth of their first child, Elliot Brett. Was born last night. She weighed in at 7 pounds 2 ounces. Knocked down by Jason Kendall. Runners will have to hold.
Not an easy block right there. That's that 55-foot curveball. That ball hit well out in front of home plate.
Two and one to Fukudome. Happy 4th birthday to Bailey Abbott of Oswego. It's been to about 15 games over the past 3 years. Cameron went back, now Cruz is in. Runners remaining at their bases with 2 outs. We've seen stretches this year. I mean, Derek, after a slow start, has been really hot since the middle part of May. But when you have Ramirez as hot as he is right now, and then Soto, who's been really good lately, that just changes the entire dynamic of a lineup, doesn't it?
Oh, no question about it. Ask opposing pitchers. You know, we've been looking ahead in the lineup the last couple of ball games to see where the outs will fall and who you're going to have to face in that 9th inning from the opposition. And I guarantee you those guys in that first base dugout are keeping a real close eye on how the lineup rolls around and how many times are you going to have to face Lee and Ramirez specifically, but Giovanni Soto also, the way he's been swinging the bat lately.
The kick, the 1-0. That's called a strike. Driven deep, left center for Derek, and it falls on the warning track, and the Cubs are going to get 2. A 2-run double for Lee, and it's 4-0. He now has 100 RBIs on the season.
Came on a curveball. Derek Lee went down and got it, golfed it into that gap in left center field. Hey, you love those 2-out gappers because the runners are going. You run on everything with 2 outs in the inning. Ryan Theriot able to score all the way from first base.
So Derek into triple digits for the 2nd time in his career. 107 RBIs in 05 with the Cubs. Now exactly 100. And a pretty good chance to set a new career mark this season. Away. This is going to end up being the 2nd best year of Derek Lee's excellent major league career. You add up the offensive totals. Already has the 2nd most home runs and the 2nd most RBIs. One-two pitch in the dirt.
It has to be extremely frustrating to watch Giovanni Gallardo pitch every 5th day. This guy's got tremendous stuff. He just threw a fastball that hit about a foot out in front of home plate.
Backhanded by McGee. He throws to Fielder in time to end the inning, but the Cubs put up a 3-spot in the fourth to take a 4-0 lead. We check it out every day, Luke. Cubs leading 4-0. And Milwaukee has not yet scored in the series. They scored 20 runs in a 3-game sweep at Arizona, but was shut out last night. And it scored into the fifth here tonight. Called strike to Kendall. 1-1 on the Brewers catcher. Talk a little roller derby tonight with our 7th inning stretch guest, Drew Barrymore, actress, producer, and director. Boy, Derek Lee had to drift into foul territory right past Kendall to make that catch. Drew Barrymore playing Smashley Simpson in her new movie. So we'll talk to her about that.
I remember as a kid growing up, that roller derby was a big deal on Sunday mornings. Yeah.
We'll ask her if she's a blocker or a jammer. It's outside. To make it 2-0 on Escobar, who tripled for their only hit back in the third. He ended up being stranded there. Ball 3-1. Zambrano's 4-1 against the Central Division with a 2.84 ERA. Unhappy with his second half up to this point. There's a 4.35 ERA since the break. It's 3.53 in the first half. He's trying to finish strong.
Well, if he continues to throw the ball the way he has through the first 4+ innings of this ball game, he will finish strong. Nasty movement on that sinker tonight, working it on both sides of the plate. He hasn't had to change speeds very often. Sinker away.
Pitch ended up being up. But Escobar pops out to Fontenot. 2 down.
Yeah, when you have that kind of movement, you can miss your spot. Some pitchers can't get away with missing their spot from the outside corner over the middle of the plate, but when you have late movement like Zambrano does on that sinker tonight, you can afford to miss your spot once in a while, and a hitter's still not going to square it up.
Gallardo turns on it, and that's going to get all the way to the wall in left, and going to be a single for Gallardo. Did not run hard down the line. Talked about the knee issues last year. I'm assuming there's something physical going on because he didn't even think about going for 2.
He scalded that ball to left field. He's kind of scooting down that first baseline. Decided just a couple steps out of the batter's box, he was going to be content with a single right there.
Happy birthday, Catherine. We call her Kate.
Yeah.
Which one's Catherine? One and one to Lopez. A strikeout and a walk tonight. He's been behind Lopez all 3 times. The pitch way inside, ball 4. Now, this might be that moment for Carlos. This is a situation that occasionally has ballooned into a big inning because of a lack of command, maybe a lack of focus at times. Key inning for him in the 3rd. He struck out Hart. He was behind him with Braun on deck, and he's going to have to get Hart to avoid facing Braun as a tying run. That's driven deep. Fukudome's back on it over his head. The Brewers are going to get 2 here. And it's 4-2, and he will face Braun as a tying run as Corey Hart doubles in a pair.
24th double of the season for Corey Hart. That sinker that started off the plate away ended up tailing back almost over the middle of the plate, and Hart crunched it to straightaway center field. I'll tell you what, it's not easy to hit a ball over Kosuke Fukudome's head in center field. We've seen a couple get out there today.
So it's Braun who has struck out twice. Milwaukee right back in it. That is going to get down in left. They're going to try to score the run. And Bobby's going to fake the throw to the plate and then toss to second. It's 4-3 and fielders coming up. All this happened after 2 were out. The ball that was crushed by Gallardo for a single. Then he walked Lopez, and now back-to-back hits. And Larry Rothschild coming out as he's stomping around out there.
You'll notice that pitch was down. Ryan Braun has had trouble with the Zambrano fastballs that were up in the strike zone in this game. That time that pitch was down. Braun just dropped the barrel of the bat on it, lined it into left field for an RBI single.
Bob, I don't think anybody would criticize Carlos for having an inning like this when he gives up runs, but it's this inning turning into a 5 or 6 run inning.
Well, we've talked at length this season. The impressive thing that we like so much about young Randy Wells is the fact that when he starts to feel an inning slipping away from him, he finds a way to regroup, maintain his focus, execute his pitches, and get out of it.
You worry about him coming mechanically a bit undone in these spots. And it's his second wild pitch in the last 2 innings.
That'll be ruled a wild pitch, but I'm sure Giovanni Soto would say that's a pitch he should have blocked right there. And now Prince Fielder will be walked intentionally with first base open. .89 on that last wide one.
Yeah. Intentional ball. That's about as hard as you'll see a pitcher throw it.
Fortunately, I think Giovanni Soto's caught enough games of Carlos Zambrano to know, when he's starting to get a little overly emotional out there on the mound, and he didn't catch Gio by surprise. I like that call right there. Giovanni Soto called for first pitch changeup. You got a pitcher on the mound that's a little overamped right now, maybe getting a little out of his comfort zone. Make him throw an off-speed pitch. Don't let him just stand out there and rear back and throw as hard as he can. Could be another changeup. Good pitch.
Two, got in on him. Well, that fastball came to eat.
McGee checking his bat right there. He knows he got lucky. He didn't lose that one. Fastball was supposed to be down low and away, but Carlos just reared back and threw it as hard as he could. It tailed right in on the hands of Casey McGee.
Good block. We talk often about anticipating what the pitch is going to be to help a catcher know I may have to get down on this, and it looked like he was ready to get down.
Now, if you know you've called for a split finger or a changeup or a breaking pitch, especially when you're ahead in the count, there's a good chance that pitch is going to end up in the dirt. Well, a catcher's always ready to block that one.
In the hole, no play. Everybody safe. Terrio just knocked it down, kept it on the infield, and kept Braun from scoring. And it is an error on Terrio.
Kind of a tough error. That ball was hitting the hole. I'm not sure where Ryan was going to get the out right here.
I agree.
I mean, sometimes the third baseman will quickly retreat to the bag at third, and that's an easy play for the shortstop to then throw on to third base. But from where he was, I don't think they could have gotten the force at second, and I seriously doubt if they could have thrown across to get McGee at first.
They are loaded for Cameron. Swing and a miss. Going after a high heater. Six straight Brewers have reached after 2 were out. Aaron Heilman is getting loose quickly. Soto able to keep that ball somewhat in front of him. This inning is unraveled pretty quickly on Carlos Zambrano. He was facing the bottom of the order at the first two, and then the pitcher kept the inning alive, and all of a sudden they're down only one. And if he can't find the strike zone here, it'll be a tie game. The 3-1 to Cameron, and a base hit. They tie it. They'll try to take the lead as Fielder is lumbering home, and it's 5-4 Milwaukee.
Another great hitter's count for a Brewers hitter, and he gets a sinker right over the middle of the plate. Hard ground ball back up the middle of the field. Prince Fielder scores from second base. And just another example of how Carlos has kind of lost it out there this inning. He ended up standing in the middle of the diamond watching that play. Supposed to be behind home plate, backing up any potential play at home. He ended up just standing in the middle of the infield watching the play.
A 1-0 to Kendall. Low and outside, 2-0. Two and one. That's an excellent job by Jason Kendall to hold up. Bob, his hands were way out in front, but he kept the barrel back. I think that was a good call.
I think Carlos thinks it was a good call. We'll get another look at it here.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I tell you, he sold it well, though.
Yeah, he did.
Now it's 3-2.
It's a real art form, that ability to get that check swing out there just a little bit too far, but yet make it look like you didn't go far enough to get the call.
Cameron will go on the 3-2. Kendall bounces foul. 5 runs this inning, as Milwaukee has grabbed the lead. And Carlos has thrown 100 pitches. Trying to put away Kendall and get out of this inning. And he finally does. Kendall makes 2 outs in the inning. But the Brewers get the lead with 5 runs. It's now 5-4 Milwaukee. Tell you, Carlos Zambrano's stuff early on, maybe the best we've seen all year, but he really came unglued in the fifth.
Yeah, once again, I don't think it was a question of his stuff tonight, because early on he had very similar stuff that he had in the no-hitter at Miller Park against the Houston Astros last year. Tonight's the anniversary of that ball game, but it just came unraveled rather quickly for him. His stuff was still very good. He just either missed the zone by a wide margin or threw it right down the middle of the plate.
2 of those runs were unearned because of the Ryan Theriot error.
Now the good news is Giovanni Gallardo is pitching like he wants to give it right back tonight. Definitely is not on top of his game this evening.
And he's trying to get through 5 with the lead to qualify for the win. Swing and a miss, 1-2 on Soto. Soto gets a hold of one to tie it up. Way back in the bleachers. 5-5. Number 11 for Gio. He was a little aggravated by having to block so many pitches in the dirt. Took out his frustrations on that baseball.
Boy, he absolutely crushed that ball into a stiff wind. It was blowing real hard early in the ball game, then it died a little bit, but really started to kick up again in this inning, but did not affect that blast whatsoever.
Bradley bounces to Lopez, and it's dug out by Fielder. Goes 4-3 for the out. 5-5. Soto homer.
Our Heineken home run replay, a laser beam straight 4-seam fastball right down the middle of the plate, and Gio was all over it. Into the back of the bleachers in left field, through about a 15-mile-an-hour wind.
And with 1 out, Aaron Heilman gets up again. So he'll pitch the 6th. It'll be interesting to see if Z will bat. My guess would be no, if his spot comes up this half inning. You have Fontenot and Scales. If one reaches, it would be the pitcher's spot. Z's had a couple good swings tonight, but I don't think he will get the at-bat. Let's play Prince Fielder. 2 outs. So we'll see who does jump into the on-deck circle, with Scales coming up. Looking at his lineup card, and it's not going to be Ryan Theriot. Does Ryan know that he's not on deck?
I think he does. I mean, you're supposed to have an on-deck hitter in the on-deck circle. And while Lou and his staff are trying to figure out who they want that guy to be, Theriot, who would be in the hole, just jumped up there to make sure there was a body in the on-deck circle.
Aaron Miles. One and 2. So Aaron's trying to change up the mojo. Clean shaven. That'll end the inning. So 5 in the books. Both starters got off to fairly good starts tonight, but both struggling in the middle innings. Soto tied it up. It's 5-5. It'll be at Busch Stadium, and coverage begins at 6:30 with Sports Night. The Cubs and Cardinals Friday night from St. Louis, 7 o'clock, right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Be a 3-game series to start the Cubs' final road trip of the year. Aaron Heilman on to work the Brewers' 6th in a 5-5 tie. Zambrano went 5 innings, and this is how rough a night he had. After he left, he had 2 more earned runs tacked on. The error charge to Ryan Theriot has been taken away, and Casey McGee given an infield hit. So that makes all 5 Brewers runs earned.
I think that's the right call. We talked about it at the time. There just didn't seem to be an out to be had on the ball that Ryan Theriot got too deep in the hole at short. See the runners get good jumps. No play at third base, obviously. I don't think they had a play on Prince Fielder at second base because they weren't holding him. He got a great jump off of first, and in order to get Casey McGee at first base, that was going to be a long throw from shallow left field.
One and 2 to Escobar with Gallardo on deck. Who would have thought Gallardo would outlast Zambrano in this game? A couple of innings ago, it was 4-0 Cubs. Lead the catch and foul ground, 1 out. Hey, Cub fans want to throw out the first pitch here at Wrigley on September 30th. How about taking some swings inside the Cubs batting cage, or maybe playing catch with a friend by the ivy? Your friends at MetLife want to make that happen. Visit Cubs.com/MetLife to enter for your chance to win. That's coming up on the final homestand, September 30th. The Pirates will be in town. What a great promotion that is. That's cued foul by Gallardo. 0-2 on the Brewers pitcher with 1 out in the 6th. Cincinnati beat Houston 5-4 tonight. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Daniel Ray Herrera got the win in relief over Sammy Gervasio, and Francisco Cordero saved his 36th. Speaking to Zambrano's stuff tonight, he had 9 strikeouts. Gave up a run per inning. Even though all 5 came in just 1 inning. 5 runs in 5 innings of work. Going into the game tonight, the Cubs starters at a 1.72 September ERA. 86 quality starts, 1 off the major league lead. Up by Fontenot. Heilman with a 1-2-3 6. So try to retake the lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th in a 5-5 deadlock. Miles is batting for Aaron Heilman. Apparently when you pinch hit these days, you have to have a guy with the same first name. Aaron for Aaron.
Yeah,
would that be something if that were a rule? Match up all the relief pitchers with the pinch hitters.
Definitely change the way you make up your roster, that's for sure.
And find a position player named Esmailan.
Good luck with that. Kevin Gregg's going to be the next Cubs pitcher as he starts to crank it up down in that left field bullpen.
2-2 to Miles. He's 32, but he looks 22. Without the facial hair. Slow bouncer, and it's Lopez to throw him out. Back to the top, and Ryan Theriot. Jacksonville leading the Tennessee Smokies late in the first of a best-of-5 Southern League final series. Northern Florida. While Gallardo has gone over 100 pitches, a lot in starts this season, we tried to keep him pretty close to 100. You know, low 100s, maybe an occasional 110, 112. This is probably his last inning as he nears 100.
Did have a 126 pitch outing against the St. Louis Cardinals earlier this year. Came away with a no decision, gave up only 2 hits in 8 innings in that ball game.
Gone over 100 in every start since August 9th, but has only gone beyond 6 innings 1 time during this stretch. 6 starts. Probably the same situation tonight. 6 innings and 100 pitches. Here's his 3-2. It's low, ball 4. Problem tonight, 5 walks. Prior to tonight's game, Scott Budd of Edward Jones Investments presented the Edward Jones Player of the Month award to Coy Hill for his outstanding play in the month of August. Visit your local Chicagoland Edward Jones Investments and make sense of your investing. And they spelled his name right.
Look at that.
Nicely done.
McCoy did a great job filling in while Giovanni Soto was on the disabled list. Caught every day, 26 in a row. McCoy's come up with a lot of big base hits lately. Average hasn't really improved that much, incrementally, but some big 2-out base hits.
Fukudome still looking for his first hit. The Cubs returned home from Pittsburgh. Todd Coffey is up in the Milwaukee bullpen. Theriot runs. Fukudome swung and missed. Throw goes into center. Theriot on his way to third. Cameron's going to throw. Safe. A steal and an error.
Gallardo with a quick pitch to home plate. Terrio knew it was going to be close at second base. Fortunately, Jason Kendall's throw tailed badly to the second base side of the bag. Escobar with a half-hearted effort to stop that ball from going into center field. Cameron's throw to third, too late. I like it, put some pressure on. Jason Kendall back to that habit of shaking the dice. He gets that ball into a throwing position, and then has a funny movement with his right wrist before releasing the ball.
1-2 to Kosuke with the infield in. Trying to get the Cubs back on top. No swing. Hunter Wendelstedt at third tonight. Did it hit his bat, or did it hit him? It hit him, according to the home plate umpire, Dana DeMuth. I wonder if Ken Maka is going to argue this call. Doesn't appear as if that's the case. It sounded like the knob, didn't it?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, there's a lot of bones in that hand and wrist area. Sometimes when you get hit on the hand, it sounds like you got hit on the bat. Looked like they're looking at that fleshy part right at the base of his right hand, right where he would have a grip on the knob. If it did hit the knob, I think it hit his hand first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. No argument from the Brewers, and Kosuke didn't react as if it really hurt, but it sure didn't feel too good. Looks like he's going to be all right.
You hope Kosuke's okay, but the good news is you get Derek Lee to the plate. A couple runners on base, one out in the inning.
We'll bring Ken Maka out to the mound. And he's going to go with Todd Coffey. So that'll be it for the starter Gallardo. The Lexus call to the pen here in the sixth. First and third with one out. Here comes Coffey. 5-5. Comcast, and you'll have access to Comcast Sportsnet Cubs games ready to watch on your schedule. To find out more, call 1-888-4-BEST-TV.
Coffey's had himself a nice season pitching out of the bullpen this year. 2.91 ERA. See, lefties have fared considerably better than right-handed hitters. Oh, the bullpen and into the fire, facing the Cubs' hottest hitter in Derek Lee.
Single, a walk, and a 2-run double.
He a .417 lifetime hitter against Todd Coffey, 5 for 12.
Well, that was way outside, knocked down on a slider. Got away from Coffey.
That ball got a lot of the bare hand of Jason Kendall. Catchers try to keep their bare hand behind their mitt when they slide over in that blocking position, but that time Kendall had the open hand right next to his glove. Looked like it might have hit him in the thumb or wrist area.
Bounced foul. Derek has hit into 10 double plays this season. Last year was really an aberration. 27 double plays. By far a career high. But he's hit a lot more fly balls than ground balls this year. In fact, his ground ball to fly ball ratio this season basically the lowest it's ever been in his career. And that does explain the 33 home runs. He's simply hitting more fly balls. He'd like to put one up in the air in this spot to give the Cubs the lead. He's already hit more fly balls this year than he did all of last year, and he's hit about 100 fewer ground balls. Please don't ground into a double play. Try to set that up.
Well, and that's what you would prefer for a power hitter like Derek Lee. You want him to hit the ball in the air deep to the outfield, either sac flies or doubles in the gap or home runs up into the bleachers. A guy like Ryan Theriot, you'd prefer to see him hit ground balls and line drives than those lazy fly balls. Just depends on what kind of a hitter you are.
Yep. Well, the last time he hit more fly balls and ground balls was 2005, and that was the best year of his career. Three and one on Lee with Ramirez on deck. And Aramis, very much a fly ball hitter. Good cut. Five in the sixth. Coffey set, and he fakes to third and looks at first. That's a smart move because Brewers are expecting some action as the Cubs try to stay out of a double play. There goes Fukudome. Ball four, bases loaded. No hits in the inning, but they're loaded with only one out.
Ramirez has had his struggles throughout his career against Coffey. 1 for 12. The one hit was a double. Take one of those right about now.
You see the Bears here on their off day. Grounded foul. Although there are two Jay Cutlers sitting in the same section. He has a sign from Kendall, the kick, and the 0-1 pitch too low. Dan Uggla with a go-ahead 2-run homer for the Marlins in St. Louis. That was in the 6th. They're now in the 7th. Florida 2, St. Louis 1. With fastball 1 and 2.
Coffey has a good sinker in the low to mid 90s. Complements it with that hard slider low and away from the right-handed hitters. Try to tell yourself as an offensive player against him, make him get the ball up. Of course, now with a 2-strike count, you just have to battle and do the best you can.
One-two on the way, another foul. Good matchup tonight. Not quite underway, but just moments away from the first pitch in San Francisco. Ubaldo Jimenez for the Rockies and Barry Zito for the Giants. Jimenez goes in at 13 and 10. Zito 9 and 12, but has a 3.99 ERA. Another 1-2, just on a slider away.
That's a good take. That is a tough pitch to lay off of in a 2-strike count. Slider starts just inside of the outside corner of the plate and then breaks down low and away. And as a hitter, you're just thinking, I'm going to protect the plate. I'm not going to let him throw a strike past me here. I'm going to try to put it in play. And that time, Aramis able to check.
And he gets hit, and the Cubs retake the lead. So Ramirez, that was a painful RBI. Mark O'Neill's coming out. Got his back arm, but it's 6-5. Second hit batter in the inning.
They caught him near that right elbow as he checked his swing once again, opened up toward that pitch as it continued to tail further inside. That is a painful RBI for Aramis Ramirez. Right off the right forearm.
Well, that pitch was not a terrible pitch. They had to hurt 95 miles an hour. But they're still loaded. 6-5. Here's Soto as the Cubs try to bust it open. Chris Bosio, the pitching coach.
Well, you know, Len, earlier in the ball game we mentioned Ryan Theriot had been hit on the finger with a ground ball. Fukudome took a pitch off his right hand. Now Ramirez with one off his right arm. Giovanni Soto back in the 5th inning, leading off the ball game with our BMW ultimate drive of the game. That tied it up at that point. You got Theriot with a finger, Kosuke with a right hand, and now Aramis Ramirez with a right elbow. We'll have to keep an eye on the throws from those three guys the rest of this game.
Sam Fuld with a right thumb last night. Sliders low. The Milwaukee Relief Corps has a collective ERA that's over a run better than the starters. Bullpen's just over 4. Starters at 5.15 coming in. The closer Trevor Hoffman's had an excellent season. 32 out of 35 in save chances. So you don't want to get to the 9th trailing against this team. Two and one. Well, they've gone to extra innings in Jacksonville. 4-4 tie. Inside, Soto almost got hit. 3-1.
Another update from that ball game. Ryan Sandberg's been ejected.
Again. Wow. He's not here, but his likeness is. Ground ball, and it's into center. Cubs will get 2. Fukudome and Lee scoring. Giovanni Soto with 3 RBIs tonight. It's 8-5.
Gio saved his best for last. A fastball on the outer third of the plate. With the Brewers playing in double play depth, that ball shot past Escobar into center field to drive home a couple of more. Nice going.
So the last 5 Cubs have reached. It's the first hit of the inning. And Ken Mock is going to make a change. That's it for Coffey. So we'll see Carlos Villanueva instead. Another Lexus call to the pen. The Cubs lead 8-5, and they're still threatening in the 6th. Thousand times, a guided tour of the friendly confines has something for everyone. Each tour includes visits to places like the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates throughout the season. Tickets are $25, and a portion of the proceeds benefits Cubs designated charities. For more info or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Right-hander Carlos Villanueva facing Milton Bradley. First pitch strike. First and second, 3 in as the Cubs have retaken the lead. Look at that, 10 losses for Villanueva. He has made 5 starts. Bradley went around, 2 strikes. So 3 of Villanueva's losses are as a starter, 7 in relief in 51 appearances. Also has 3 saves in 8 chances. His ERA has gone up every year since he had a 3.69 his first year. Nice play by Fielder. He's going to throw to second. Bad throw, though, and the Cubs will get another run. Ramirez scores. Soto's able to get to third. Fielder got a little greedy, and it's now 9-5.
Oh, it's hit hard by Milton Bradley, taking Prince Fielder a little bit to his right. Looked like he had some indecision whether to go to second base or take the out at first. He decides to try to force Gio at second base, threw poorly to Escobar in the dirt.
Second error of the inning. One strike on Fontenot. We could be nearing a situation, if Aaron Miles gets another chance this inning, where he won't be a pinch hitter and he doesn't have a position. Or you could pinch hit for a pinch hitter.
Yeah.
The quirks of baseball. Line in the left, a base hit. Soto scores. It's 10-5. Cubs with their biggest lead of the night.
Nice swing by Mike Fontenot. Takes a high fastball up and out over the plate. A lot of hands, a lot of wrists in that swing. Just flipped a line drive out in front of Ryan Braun to drive home another Cub. Keep the line moving.
So the Cubs will bat around in the 6th. The Brewers did it in the 5th. Be 2, 4, 6, 3. So the Cubs send all 9 to the plate. They take the lead, and the bases loaded, hit by pitch. They add 4 more, now lead by 5.
Plus, check in on Lou Pinella's post-game remarks. Don't miss Lowe's Cubs post-game live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
How about 5 runs on 2 hits? 2 errors. That certainly helped. But you take whatever you can get. And Kevin Gregg is on with the Cubs leading by 5 runs, 10-5. Corey Hart pops up the bunt attempt and the basket catch by Kevin Gregg. So 1 quick out. Here comes Ryan Braun. Well, we are being surrounded by the Windy City Rollers. We are going to set a record in terms of the 7th inning stretch.
I think so.
The 7th inning stretch chorus. (0-2) on Ryan Braun. Drew Barrymore. Smashed Lee Simpson.
Whenever you want them to stop coming in the booth, put your hands on your hips. That cuts off the jam, right? I told you, I watched some roller derby.
Kick and the 0-2. It's outside. Fastball 1-2. Cubs led 4-0, trailed 5-4, now lead 10-5.
Now, we speculated before last night's ball game that this figured to be a high-scoring series with the Brewers' offense swinging the bats the way they have throughout the regular season, and the Brewers' pitching staff struggling the way they have. It's finally come to fruition here tonight, even though the Brewers did all their damage in 1 inning.
Broken bat grounder right to Terrio. 2 down. We have a 10-part harmony here, or so how many singers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're going to set a record.
Yeah. Of course, you're going to join in, right?
No, I'm just going to listen. Prince Fielder gets under 1. Bobby Scales will make the catch. Here comes a stretch with Drew Barrymore and company.
And now to sing the 7th inning stretch from the new film Whip It, out October 2nd, accompanied by the Windy City Roller Derby Girls. Please welcome Drew Barrymore.
All right, Chicago, let me hear you sing. This one's for you, Harry. And let me hear you, Cubs fans. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back for its root. Root, root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some more run!
Jeff Baker will lead off the bottom of the 7th as he bats for Kevin Gregg. Cubs leading the Brewers 10-5. Drew Barrymore is with us.
Hi, guys.
Hi, nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, too.
We're big fans, and welcome to Wrigley Field.
Well, I've been here before, and I love Chicago, so I'm so happy to be here.
And tell us about your chorus.
Oh, I was lucky enough to sing the song with the Windy City Rollers, the Chicago Derby Girls. I just directed a film called Whip It. It's set in the world of roller derby, but it's a coming of self and a family and a friend and a love story. It's got all these great elements. And I'm really excited to bring it personally to people because it was a personal experience for me making it. And I wanted to travel across the country and spread the word.
So is roller derby back? Is that
it was real, and then it was staged, and now it's a real authentic sport again, really competitive. These amazing women who have these extraordinary day jobs. Two of the girls that I just sang with worked here at the right here. They're like beer girls, and they were teaching me all the history and the rules, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. I mean, it's so appropriate. I can't even believe it.
I like some of the names for your course. Athena de Crime, I saw on the back of her shirt.
Yep, I play a girl named Smashley Simpson in the movie. You can go to whipit.net and create your own derby name. I swear to God, it's a little bit of like it becomes an obsession. It becomes your alter ego, and it's such a fun word play.
3-2 on Jeff Baker. There's a payoff pitch. A base hit to right to lead it off. Well, you were at Fenway Park making fever pitch, right? And the famous story is that the ending had to be changed because they won it all.
Yeah, it was totally about a guy who was on a losing team, or in love with a losing team. And then after 81, 86, I don't know, like the most extraordinary number, the curse was broken, and we were filming while the whole streak was happening, and then I got super superstitious, thinking we were gonna like mess things up for them, making this love letter to the team, and then the dream came true. So.
Has anybody from the Cubs organization talked to you about maybe filming a movie here?
No, but I'm available. I love this city. I love this team. I'd be so happy to do anything with them. I'd be honored.
Ontario takes a strike at the knees. Now, were you filming in Fenway Park during the World Series?
Yes, and then
that had to be a little tricky.
Yeah,
huh?
and then they were at an away game when like the winning crazy history-changing game was playing, and we were flying there. And I remember being on the plane flying there, going, "Are we going to curse them? Are we going to jinx them by going there?" But I really wanted to capture it. Because we produced the film, and I just thought it was becoming such a love letter to this team in this city that I wanted to put that moment in the movie, and I was hoping that the fans of the Red Sox understood that, because they were probably like, what the heck are they doing on that field? So hopefully when the movie came out, it made a little sense.
Well, sure. Now that would have been 04, the year they came back from down 3-0 in the championship series to beat the Yankees.
Yeah.
Wow. What a story.
It really was amazing to be a part of that history.
So was that art imitating life, or life imitating art, or life affecting art?
I have no idea. I just couldn't believe we were like catching it on film. And
it's a once in a lifetime, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you make a movie about a team that hasn't won in over 80 years, and then you film it and they win that year. It was the oddest sort of amazing coincidence.
That ball got right out of the mid of Kendall, and will be a passed ball. Jason Kendall is 4th of the year, and it's 3-1 Ontario.
So Drew, in Whip It, did you do any skating yourself?
Yeah, I'm on the derby team, and I had to learn roller derby, and it's terrifying. I mean, you're working on 8 wheels, and we did bank track. There's also flat track, but we did bank track, and you have these amazing, chicks flying at you, hip checking you, rail checking you, body slamming you. it's terrifying. But then you start to learn it. You get really like, you know, a lot better at it, and you start to learn to jump over girls and land without falling or skating backwards without eating it. And you just are like so excited to strap on and like get out there and like play. And I love sports. I love the collective experience of sports. I love athleticism and capability and just celebrating that sort of collective experience.
Can you hang with us for a couple of minutes?
I'd love to.
We'll be right back with Drew Barrymore. The Lexus call to the pen. A change on the mound. We'll be back. 10-5 Cubs. Steakhouse in Chicago, Rosemont, or Lombard, or Harry Carey's Tavern in Wrigleyville. Call 773-HOLY COW or visit harrycareys.com to plan your event today. Right-hander Chris Smith takes over. The Cubs have another threat going here. First and second with nobody out. Kosuke Fukudome at the plate. Baker at second. Terrio at first. Kick and the pitch, swing and a miss. Bob, I asked the A-listers to sign a baseball for me for my office. But look at what Drew wrote. How sweet is that?
I put a little heart on it.
Yes.
For you.
Look, Drew. That's very sweet.
I love that you have your old scoreboard. I am an appreciator of history and the old school. And I used an old scoreboard in Whip It, the film I directed. I have to, you know, give it up to you guys for keeping that and say what a wonderful tradition that is.
It really is. I mean, it hasn't changed in a long time.
Well, keep it as long as possible.
Oh, they will here. No question about that. Just off the outside corner and a curveball, 2-1. Not taking any shots at anyone, but when you won your 3 MTV Movie Awards, nobody interrupted you, right?
No,
okay.
No.
Right.
I don't know. I heard about that.
Yeah, it's been an interesting week.
Yeah.
3-1.
I'm just
10-5 Cubs.
I'm just glad nobody's getting hit in the arms right now. That was
a lot of that.
And 1 inning of 2 arm hits. I wanted to just go down and like kiss both of their elbows and say, "Are you okay?"
I'm sure they would have welcomed that.
Oh, I'm sure they're so tough. They would be like, "Don't you worry, little girl." But I hope they're doing great.
So, do you have a team? Who do you root for? Who's your team? Or do you just like baseball in general? I
like baseball in general. I love an underdog. You know, when someone's down, I sort of just, my empathy and my heart goes out to them. I've always sort of felt more in myself in the underdogs club. Never really fit in with the cool kids.
Bases loaded for Derek Lee. Nobody out. The Cubs already leading by 5.
Well, the offensive approach the Cubs have had tonight, Len, very similar to last season. Very, very patient at bats. If the Brewers pitchers aren't going to throw it in the strike zone, the Cubs aren't going to swing at it.
It's an excellent point. They've done it all with hits. A lot of walks. As Drew mentioned, a couple of hit batters back in the 6th inning. And this is exactly the spot you want. Your best hitter at the plate. And 3 men on. Inside 2-0. How about a grand slam here?
Bases loaded, y'all.
Smith ready. 3-0. Well, even though they're loaded up, Bob, it doesn't look like Chris Smith wants any part of Derek Lee.
And if he'd take the time to look over his shoulder in that bullpen, it's all him. There's nobody warming up right now for the Brewers.
Ball 4. He's forced in a run. It's 11-5. 3 straight walks. 2 by Smith. And Derek has 3 RBIs tonight. The Brewers bullpen has crumbled.
Royce, you have another movie coming out in December. Everybody's Fine with Robert De Niro. He's one of my favorites. What was it like to work with him?
It was quite an honor. I kind of couldn't believe I was acting in a scene with him. I wanted to pinch myself every second. And he's really cool.
Strike at the knees to Ramirez. Well, good luck. Nominated for an Emmy as well, and you're going to find out real soon whether or not you won. Huh?
This Sunday. But no matter what, I just am so excited that everyone got nominated. Just it's all I care about is the whole sort of group is, you know, celebrated. Feels so much better that way.
For the HBO film Grey Gardens. Jessica Lange, your co-star, also up for that award. We'll be rooting for you, though, Drew.
Oh, thank you.
Swing and the miss, 1-2. Cubs are trying to improve to 4-1 on this homestand. They're 9-4 to start the month of September. At a rough month of August. 2-2. The wind was blowing in when we started tonight, but it's very calm right now. It kind of feels like last night. It was coming in out of the north at 9 miles an hour, but barely moving the flags. Pop fly into left. Braun comes in. Terrio's going to tag, but probably is going to hold. He will. Drew, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
We look forward to checking out Whip It, and again, we'll be rooting for you this Sunday in your Emmy nomination.
Well, thanks, you guys. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be here. I love this city, and this is super, super cool for me. Thank you.
Thanks. Drew Barrymore as the Cubs continue on here in the 7th. On Giovanni Soto. Toward right, but out of play. I was a big fan of Drew Barrymore's before she came into the booth, but
Yeah.
I'm even a bigger fan now. What a sweetheart.
I like that she likes the aesthetics of sports. You know,
Yes.
the beauty and the grace that's involved. Sometimes it's not always beautiful and graceful, but boy, when it is, it's a special, special thing.
The underdog. Yep. That's who she roots for. 2-1.
I really think we need to convince her to shoot her next movie here at Wrigley.
Yeah.
Work for the Red Sox.
How about Fever Pitch 2?
Yeah, there you go.
Ground ball wide of third. That's foul. Three and two. The Cubs continue to grind out these long at bats.
Great at bats tonight, laying off borderline pitches, taking the ones that are way out of the strike zone and taking some aggressive swings when they get a pitch they can handle.
Called strike 3 to get Soto.
Perfectly spotted fastball on the outside corner at the knees.
I'd love to see Milton pop one here in a rough homestand for him, and he's 0 for 4 tonight. This is the second time he has batted with the bases loaded tonight. That kind of night, 0-2. Immediately in a hole. One-two on the way, and it hits Bradley to force in another run. A second hit batter with the bases loaded the last 2 innings. The previous one gave the Cubs the lead. It's now 12-5.
Breaking ball down and in. Looked like it caught Milton on the back foot, that left foot. Oh, right off the ball of his foot. He'll head on down to first base. Another painful RBI tonight.
How about this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the Cubs' runs have resulted ultimately from a walk or a hit batter. Pretty amazing.
When you just look at the Brewers out there defensively, the body language, everybody back on their heels, taking their gloves off between pitches, just standing around waiting for their pitcher to throw some strikes.
One and two to Fontenot.
It looked like Mike did something to his right hand on that swing, a zinger. Sometimes when you swing and miss at that pitch, the way your wrist rolls over it, like hitting your crazy bone. You feel it all the way up your arm. See the grimace on the face right there, shaking the right hand out as he comes out of the batter's box.
swing and a miss, and that'll end the inning. But the Cubs get a couple more on just one hit. So that's 7 runs the last 2 innings on 3 hits, 12-5. Off home run. Cubs would then later get the lead. Soto tacking on with a 2-run single. Big night for Gio. He's been really good here lately. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Jeff Baker stays in and plays third. With the smiling Caridad now into the game. To Ramirez's spot in the lineup. Fourth Cubs hurler tonight, and he's facing Matt Gamble. He's pinch hitting for Casey McGee. Former Cub Corey Patterson is on deck. So it's going to start to look a little bit like spring training. It's going to hit for Cameron. We do appreciate Ken Maka having third baseman bat for a third baseman and a center fielder hit for a center fielder. Makes it a little easier on us in terms of our scorecards.
I mentioned it a couple days ago as Smiling Caridad, a guy that you'll probably see quite a bit of down the stretch.
Ball 4.
No question, he's got the arm to be a late inning relief pitcher. Fastball consistently sits in the mid to upper 90s. Question, as always, with a young hard thrower is, can he throw enough strikes to be effective?
So Corey Patterson back in the majors with Milwaukee. This is his 5th appearance. He's made a couple of starts. He's 0 for 7 as a Brewer. It's a ground ball backhanded by Derek Lee from his knees. Gets one. Relay throw to first. Late. Excellent try there. They tried to go 3-6-1, but they only get the lead man.
Oh, hit real hard right down to Derek Lee. Belt high fastball on the inside corner, and D. Lee from his knees throws to Ryan Theriot to get the force at second base. One thing we know about Corey Patterson, he can run. Beats that relay throw back to Caridad easily at first base.
Continuing the theme in this inning. Backup catcher hits for the starting catcher, Mike Rivera, for Jason Kendall.
With a backup catcher for a team that has Jason Kendall as a starter, you feel a little bit like the Maytag repairman. Mike Rivera's appeared in 35 games this year, but only 94 at bats.
Soto goes out. Maybe the mojo's changed in Drew Barrymore here. She talked about how they changed the ending of the movie Fever Pitch after the Red Sox won it in 04. Well, the Cubs have played well lately. They haven't blown out a lot of people. And this, as you said, is the first night in a long time this has felt like last season in terms of the offense. Golfed high in the air to left field for Bobby Scales. He has it. 2 outs.
There's a term I've heard, Len, when you go over opposing hitters in an advance meeting. There's a term that some teams will use about a hitter. He likes to get his at-bats over with quick. Meaning he either swings at the first, second, maybe the third pitch of an at-bat, but you're probably not going to worry about too many full counts or too many 3-1 counts against him because he's so aggressive. And I think that description kind of fits the entire Cubs offense for most of the season. Aggressive to the point where it looked like they wanted to have their at-bat end quickly, whether it was a base hit or a ground out or a strikeout, whatever it was, get it over with quickly. Tonight that has not been the case. A lot of very patient at bats.
Well, unfortunately, Jacksonville beat Tennessee in 10 innings, 6-5, to grab the first game of the Southern League Championship Series. But we have good news. San Francisco's grabbed an early 3-0 lead over the Rockies. Got the 3 in the first. They're now in the second inning. Now, while in that series, one team ahead of you is going to win every night, one team's going to lose, but you'd rather have the team leading the way lose. And the Cubs with a chance tonight to get within 4 in the loss column. With over 2 weeks to go, 2.5 weeks to play. Check in on the Braves. They won. They shut out the Mets 6-0, so they'll stay a half game ahead of the Cubs for 4th in the wild card. You know what I hope, Bob? I hope the last week of the season we're checking in on about 6 different games that they all matter to the Cubs. Terrio throws to Fontenot at second base to force Patterson and end the inning. Caridad with a scoreless 8. The Cubs pulling away tonight, leading 12-5. Thanks, Scale. We got a lot of changes. Corey Patterson stays in to play center. Matt Gamble stays in to play third. Mike Rivera catches. Frank Catalinato, the Cat, playing second. And right-hander John Axford makes his major league debut against Bobby Scales. John Axford began the season in the Class A Florida State League. Here he is in the majors. It's Ryan Braun in left. Retires Scales. Don't see it that often, but every once in a while you see a story like this, going from A ball all the way to the majors. And as we check in on the Feldco upcoming schedule, we're not thinking about next year just yet, but the tentative 2010 schedule came out today. Some of the highlights: season will open on April 5th in Atlanta. The home opener a week later against these Brewers, and the Cubs will play the entire American League West with trips to Texas and Seattle. The Angels will come to Wrigley Field, I believe, for the first time ever. They're the last American League team to play at Wrigley Field for the first time. The A's will be here, and as always, the Cubs will play 2 series against the White Sox. First thing I did, as always, I looked at where the off days were on the road. Baker pops shallow right. This could be trouble. It's down, and it'll be a single for Baker. He is 2 for 2.
Out there in that Bermuda Triangle where none of the Brewer defenders could get there quickly enough. Catalinato just into the ball game, can't get there. Corey Hart came up short, as did Prince Fielder.
Yeah, the Angels are the only current American League franchise that has never played here at Wrigley Field, so that will be taken care of next year. Right-hander Jeff Samardzija is up in the Cubs pen, getting ready for the 9th inning. Schedule always has some interesting quirks. And here are just a couple in terms of the Cubs road trips next year. They have a 5-game trip to Philadelphia for 2, and then Texas for 3. And then a 6-game trip, 3 in Seattle and 3 on the south side of Chicago. So the first leg of that trip will be a little longer than the second part. Well, that's a nice advantage for the White Sox and Cubs. They get to play 3 extra days every year in their home city. Unlike this year, the Cubs will finish next season on the road, 4 in San Diego and 3 in Houston.
And unlike this year, we were done with the Astros in Houston very early in the season. Next year we'll finish in Houston.
That's the 4th straight walk taken by Ryan Theriot. It's been a great night for the Cubs leadoff man, who's already scored 3 times. And one last thing, the Cubs All-Stars have it made. We'll finish up the first half next year at Dodger Stadium. The All-Star game is in Anaheim. Perfect. Gets by. Runners move up. It's a wild pitch, according to Bob Rosenberg.
That's his favorite.
Yeah. And a lot of wild pitches, passed balls, hit batters, walks.
That's usually how Bob Rosenberg announces his presence when we walk into the lunchroom here at Wrigley Field. A wild pitch.
Bob, bring that TV monitor from his house. Looks like it's about 40 years old. Got a little flat screen over there, Rosie.
I don't think Bob brings anything from home to the ballpark. Occasionally some things will go home from the ballpark with him, but I don't think he brings anything back.
He always takes his integrity home with him. That's all that matters. Swing and a miss for strike 3. First major league strikeout for John Axford. The Florida State League All-Star. Now facing Derek Lee, who has singled, walked, knocked in 2 with a double, walked, scored, and then walked with the bases loaded.
Jeff Samardzija cranking it up in the Cubs bullpen. Obviously went to the University of Notre Dame, as did the pitcher on the mound, John Axford. I think they maybe just missed each other at Notre Dame.
Axford went to Notre Dame and then Canisius College. While he was at Notre Dame, he underwent Tommy John surgery and did not pitch in 2004. John Axford. Doesn't sound like he'd play guitar in Psychedelic Furs or something.
No. If they had a catcher named Simpson, Axford and Simpson, ain't no stopping us
we had
now.
Smashley Simpson in the booth with us.
Look out!
Oh, Derek knocked down.
Boy, that one right up around the head of Derek Lee. Somehow manages to limbo underneath that fastball.
Well, watch his feet. You almost worry in that spot about injuring your ankle. But the key is to get your head out of the way of the pitch.
Yeah.
Ball 4. He's walked 4 times. I'm going to guess this is a season high in walks for the Cubs. Let's see. Got 11 walks. Off power, pinch hitting. Carida. That is a season high in walks taken by the Cubs. Previous high was 10. Single and 2 walks, and the bases loaded yet again for the Cubs. Fouled away. This is the kind of night everybody wants to bat as many times as possible.
There's that old saying that hitting is contagious, and good, patient at bats tonight have been contagious as well. Everybody wants to get some of the action.
Three and one to Hoffpower with the bases full. The kick, the pitch. 3-2.
Advantageous take right there by Micah Hoffpower. That was a good pitch that he normally would come out of his shoes swinging at, but now all the runners will be in motion. Could possibly clear him with an extra base hit.
Ball four. 13-5. As a manager in the other dugout, is there a point where you're a little numb to this, or does every bases loaded walk hurt equally? I mean, the Cubs got the lead with a bases loaded hit batter.
Well, you never really get numb to it. You keep thinking that the next pitch in the strike zone is going to be the one that turns your pitcher around and gets him going again. And then the case tonight for the Brewers staff, it seems like they get right back out of the zone as quickly as they got back into it.
Well, Soto could really cap a big night. He's already homered and knocked in 3, and he bats with the bases loaded again. I think Ken Mock is too happy right now. The starter gave up 7, but the bullpen has given up 6. Soto drives it to left. Braun is going to catch it. Cubs get another run on just 1 hit, 3 walks, including one with the bases loaded against John Axford in his major league debut. Off to the 9th, 13-5 Cubs. Prince Fielder, you see Lopez pointing at second, and Fielder's throw was too low, got away. One of 2 errors in the 6th inning. Nobody covering third, allowing runner to get an extra base, and Soto would later score on the Mike Fontenot RBI single. So Jeff Samardzija will pitch the 9th inning.
It still remains to be seen whether Jeff Samardzija will get another start before the end of the season. It was speculated that perhaps he would get a spot start. Maybe Tom Gorzolani get a spot start. So we'll see how it goes here down the stretch.
Second appearance since coming back from AAA Iowa on September 8th. Worked an inning in the Cincinnati series 3 days ago. A walk, no hits, no runs. Jody Garrett bats in the pitcher's spot for Axford. Lou said this turn through the rotation, they're going to keep it intact and then maybe insert one of the guys you mentioned, give everybody an extra day. We'll see. And a solid base hit into center by Garrett. If you're traveling and can't watch your Cubs on TV, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. It's the ultimate baseball experience, featuring 100 out-of-market games per week, live on your computer, and catch those you missed on demand. For more details, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Catalinato gets his first at bat. Low for ball one. 38,986. Paid crowd. Many have headed to their next destination, with the home team leading by 8. That's deep to right. Bradley twisting and turning. It's past him and kicks back toward the infield. Garrett's going to score. Catalinato all the way to third, and he gets in with a triple. 13-6. Boy, they've hit a couple balls really hard against Samardzija.
Screaming line drives. The first one right back up the middle. This one down and in right where Catalinato likes it. Bill Bradley that time got too close to the wall. Either catch the ball in front of the wall or back off and play the carom. That time he got caught in between and slipped on the warning track to compound it, giving Catalinato an opportunity to round the bases and end up with a triple.
Cubs have played back, leading by 7 as Corey Hart shanks it foul. The producer of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is Bob Albrecht. Our director is Dave Turner. Our associate producer, Tamara Anderson. Our stage manager in the booth, Christine Charbonneau. Our technical director, Joe Vinci. Ground ball will get the run in, but Cubs get that first out as Fontenot throws out Hart. He picks up his third RBI tonight. It's now 13-7. Our tech manager is Mark Harper. The senior executive producer of Comcast Sportsnet is Jim Corno Jr. Great work as always by our entire crew. Swing and a miss by Ryan Braun.
Apparently the Blue Jays and the Yankees had a little bit of a dust up tonight. Jorge Posada and Jesse Carlson from the Blue Jays. Carlson threw a pitch behind Posada. Bench is cleared. Even Joe Girardi got involved. Supposedly had a cut on his ear after the brawl was broken up.
Aaron Heilman stands to get the win in relief. He deserves it. He's been really good lately. Jeff may be one base runner away from looking over his right shoulder and seeing some action in the pen. In fact, that's going to happen. It was going to happen either way, as John Grabo just stood up as Samardzija dealt ball 4 to Braun.
It shouldn't take Grabo long to get loose. He can crank
He's like
it up.
Scott Air.
Yeah, he can get ready shaking hands down there in the bullpen. Once again, the exaggerated pull shift for Prince Fielder. We saw a very unorthodox double play out of this pull shift last night.
Fielder swinging for Sheffield, but he pops it up, and Fontenot will catch it for out number 2. It's an easy second guess now, Bob, but we've talked about this before. Are there times when managers say in this spot, you got to take a strike? Or do you let Prince Fielder with 126 knocked in swing away early?
Yeah, I think you let Prince Fielder do pretty much whatever he wants to do given his track record this season and throughout his early career.
The only thing about it is, and Braun took off when Fielder popped it up. If Braun hits a line shot, the game ends on a double play.
Yeah, but there was a time, you know, once again, getting back to the days that Ron Santo and I played, if you were trailing 6 runs in a ball game in the 9th inning, every hitter was expected to go up there and take until you got a strike. You need base runners.
Gamble airing it out on a 2-0 pitch. Now, for me, in terms of the baseball stuff in general, that aggravates me more than the celebration stuff, because I think smart baseball is one thing. The other stuff's just all appearances and aesthetics. Called strike, 3-2. But, like you said, we see it all the time. Fans are up 3-2 with 2 outs in the 9th. Swing and a miss. Cubs win. Samardzija gave up 2 in the 9th, but had a big cushion. So the Cubs are surging here late. They're hoping it's not too little too late. 19 to go.